Mike the Truth Jackson, back with another edition of Fighters Talk. I came all the way to Dallas for this, my guy.
Just for this?
I swear, it wasn't Fury 41.
Okay.
It was because I had the opportunity to chop it up with my guy, who I don't get to chop it up with. I don't get to come out to Dallas. You moved away to the promised land here for the MMA, man. First of all, how you feeling tonight?
I feel good tonight. I'm out here supporting my teammates. Had one loss, but he'll bounce back. It's whatever.
Well, what's it like for you sitting on the, I mean, obviously, we know what you do inside the octagon, inside the cage, but what is it like for you, Geoff Neal, to sit on the outside and support your teammates and watch them? I mean, you don't know the outcome, but you're here supporting. Like, what is that like for you with all the emotions?
It feels good. I actually like coming to fights and supporting. It's something that I never really did coming up because I was always working, so I missed a lot of my teammates' fights. So it feels good to actually be able to go to these fights and support them like I haven't been before. So feels good.
Now, you and I, we go way back to our times over as an amateur, in Houston. But like I said, you're here in Dallas. What for you, before we get to the big fight, but for you, what is that experience like, and how has life changed since those days as an amateur to now competing as a pro at the highest level?
The experience is amazing. It's a journey. I remember fighting amateur. I used to do it just for like shits and giggles. You know what I mean? It was just fun. I'll fight anybody, anytime. But going to pro became more of a job. You know what I mean? I had a reality check my third pro fight when I lost, and it was like, man, it's for real. Everything counts. So it really changed my mindset. I started working harder. I started focusing on fighting. I had to cut out a few bad habits that I had, and
I'm glad you said, because I was gonna drop the dime. I swear I was about to say it, but won't do it. But the funny thing was, I was sitting here and I was thinking about coming to talk to you today, and that was one of the things that I remember. Is some of the bad habits that you had, and it boggled my mind that you were able to do what you were doing, and then come into the gym and train. You may not have thought it was a high level, but at the time, it was still a high level, and you surpassed that. And you've reached the pinnacle, baby. You've reached a point where the majority of people who attempt to compete in this sport will never reach, and you did it. But more important, let's talk about the big fight. Let's talk about it. First of all, how did it come about, you versus Mike Perry?
It came about. I've been pushing for the fight for a while. Anytime I see Mike post something on Twitter, like about needing to fight, I would like chime in, like, "Hey, I'll fight you." You know what I mean? I'm right here. Ponzinibbio and Lawler were supposed to fight. That fight fell off because Ponzinibbio was injured or whatever. And then Perry was trying to fight Lawler, but Lawler didn't want to take that fight. So I guess the UFC said, "Hey, Perry, Geoff, y'all don't got fights. Fill this spot for us." So they put us in to fill that up, and we got the fight.
Now we know what Perry likes to do. He runs his mouth. Now, not to say he doesn't back it up, because obviously he does, but he's a shit talker. He likes to get in people's heads. What was that like for you preparing for that type of an opponent?
I was just focused on myself, you know what I mean? I was like, if he talks shit, if he says whatever, I'm just going to focus on me, you know what I mean? Surprisingly, he didn't do no shit talking. He said something at the beginning, but I shut that down real quick. But after that, he didn't do no shit talking. He wasn't acting crazy during fight week, and it kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm like, what's going on here? What's about to happen, But I don't know, but I was ready for it. I was ready for him to talk shit, you know what I mean? I was mentally prepared. I was like, he going to say whatever he wants to say, but I'm still going to do me.
So during fight week, for me, fight weeks, whether I'm competing, whether I'm working, or as a spectator, as a fan, friend, it feels like summer camp.
Yeah.
I don't know how it feels like, during the week you kind of hanging out, doing your thing, even going around the cities or whatever. Then it's fight night, which is like the big presentation everyone comes to. And then, the next day you leave. But like for you, you're in the city, and you're in Vegas, you possibly see him at the hotel. You're saying he didn't do anything, but was there ever any like, man, I don't know what this guy could possibly do?
Yeah, I was wondering. I think I was trying to figure out his angle. I felt like he was playing like the nice guy role to kind of like let my guard down, you know what I mean? And then I think that's what he's trying to do, because when I got in the cage, we were all like cool, whatever. The night before, when I got in the cage, he just had this death look on his face. Like, I was like, oh shit, that's what we're doing today.
But that weigh-ins, like, what was that about? Like, how did the body shots part come about?
He asked me, like, we were standing right next to each other before we walk out. Like, you don't see what happens behind the stage, but like they literally lined us up like close to each other. But I was just standing next to him, and he was like, I mean, I normally like to do something crazy during weigh-ins. I was thinking if you could give me a couple body shots, and I was like, I told him no initially, and then I was just thinking to myself when I was like, man, let me do something. You know what I mean? I never did anything crazy. I always take the weigh-ins way too serious. You know what I mean? So I decided to play around this time.
Yeah, so you played around a little bit. We saw it was fun. It was a lot of people said that was one of their most memorable weigh-ins was you two up there.
Yeah.
But come fight night, obviously things have changed. Our emotions, our feelings changed. What was it like for you? I mean, this is the biggest fight of your career thus far. What was it like for you in that moment?
In the moment, like staring across the cage from him, I was just ready to go. You know what I mean? Before the fight, I was kind of like, I was thinking like, it's the biggest fight of my life. You know what I mean? I can't lose this. You know, every fight to me, like, it's make or break. I have to win. There's no other option. But in the cage, I was relaxed. I was focused. I was ready. I was looking across the cage. I didn't even realize it was Mike Perry. It was just somebody. It was just like another day at the gym. You know, I was just ready to go.
Dude, and you went out there. What was it, like 90 seconds, something like
Yeah.
What did you see when you threw the head kick and it landed? What was it that made you say, man, I got to land, I got to launch this?
The kick, he kept on dropping it. Like, every time I would come forward, he'll do this. Okay. He'll drop a little bit. So I threw one kick to the body, and then he was coming forward real aggressively, and I knew that if I would flash my left hand and throw the kick, he'll be there to get hit.
And bam, and it landed. You pounced on him. You got the win. Now, obviously, you were celebrating, but did it hit? At what point in that moment did it hit you? Like, oh shit! Like, we did this.
When I landed the kick, once he stumbled, I knew it was a wrap. I was like, I had to jump on it. I never seen him. I've seen him. He got dropped before, you know what I mean. But I never seen him wobbly, woozy, you know what I mean. So I was like, man, this is the moment. This is the moment where I got to jump on him, or I might not get it again.
Right, now that was a big moment. You were the only person to stop him like that. You know what I'm saying? You get the win against a very tough opponent, top opponent here. Yeah. You know, you already number 10 in the division. You're gonna elevate past that. What do you think is next?
I'm trying to get a fight with Santiago Ponzinibbio, you know, or RDA. But right now I'm trying to get my eyes focused on Ponzinibbio. But hopefully he takes the fight. If not, we'll see what's up. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get that fight.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Geoff Neal coming off the biggest win of his career, UFC 240, was it? 245? Real quick, actually, you know what, before we get out of here, because obviously we have the guy.
Yeah.
You got the guy out in fight weekend, Colby Covington, and everything he was doing. What was that like? Because we know that you're going to have guys like the Conor McGregor weekends and things like that. But what was it like with the Colby Covington and sort of like the hate that he brings behind him?
Honestly, I didn't see Kobe the whole time. I seen him one time during the weigh-ins. Okay. That was it. It was actually pretty chill around the hotel. Like, there was no Kobe Usman going on. You know what I mean? I think they both stayed at like separate hotels off-site.
Yeah, I think Kobe was over at Red Rock, and I know that. Yeah. But
he was at the Trump.
Okay.
Of course, he was at the Trump hotel, but we were at the Red Rock. But yeah, it was chill, and I'm glad it was. I'm glad there was no. It wasn't a circus at the hotel.
Right.
So, like,
what on fight night? Even you're a little bit around him in the atmosphere. Was there anything going on as far as in the arena and maybe some not Kobe fans, but just that type of energy?
No, I was to be real. Like, every fight, I try to focus on myself. You know what I mean? I really didn't give a damn who was fighting on the main event. To be real, you know what I mean? It was my moment. It was my time. It was my fight. You know, whoever's fighting on the card with me, it doesn't matter. It's just about me.
There you have it. It's about the hands of steel. Geoff, hey, you know, so I know I always fuck it up, right? I always say the hands of stone sometimes. And then look. So I was driving, I was all the way up here, and I was like, oh shit, Neal Steel. And finally, that's how it hit me. So now I'll never forget it now. Yeah. I'll always get it, my guy. Okay. Geoff Neal, my man. We here, bro.
Hell yeah.